Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you my favourite way of calculating opportunity cost. And I'm thinking about the sorts of questions that look sometimes like this. So in this question we're told that Indonesia and Greece can make fruit and or vegetables. Their production possibilities are described in the table below. Find the opportunity costs for each country. So I'm thinking about these sorts of scenarios we're given where we have only two economic agents who can do at most two sorts of things. Now I'm going to start by quickly interpreting what the cells in the table mean. So the cells indicate really the maximum amount of each good that each country can produce if they dedicate all their resources to the production of that good. So if Indonesia only produces fruit, for instance, they put all their resources towards the production of fruit, they could produce 10 fruit. If they instead put all of their resources into producing vegetables, they could produce 5 vegetables. If Greece used all of their resources towards producing fruit, they could produce 12 fruit. And if Greece used all their resources to producing vegetables, they could produce 4 vegetables. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is just note the standard definition of opportunity cost, and I'll just use the short OC for opportunity cost. And that definition is this one here. So opportunity cost is the value of the next best foregone alternative. Now, in these sorts of cases where we have a very, very simple model, so our economic agents can only do two things, in this case, make fruit and or vegetables. In this context, the definition of opportunity cost translates to, well, the opportunity cost of making vegetables will be how much fruit is foregone or given up when one more vegetable is produced, and the opportunity cost of producing fruit will be equal to how many vegetables are given up when one more fruit is produced. And we do like to normalize our opportunity costs to be in terms of just one more of an item, because then we can easily compare them. Now, the table that we have here already does, in a way, report quite directly on opportunity costs. The table tells us that, for instance, if Indonesia put all their resources towards making fruit, they could make 10 fruit. And if they do that, they're giving up 5 vegetables, since that's the amount of vegetables that they could have produced if they used instead all their resources on producing vegetables. So to say this another way, for Indonesia, the opportunity cost of making 10 fruit is equal to 5 vegetables. And what we can do then is divide out our figures to normalize the number of fruit to be equal to 1. So to make 10 into 1, we divide 10 by 10. But what we're going to do is divide the number of vegetables by 10 as well, in order to keep that ratio of that trade-off constant. So 5 over 10 is a half. So we get this result that the opportunity cost for Indonesia of making one more fruit is equal to a half of a vegetable. So we have our opportunity cost just like we want in terms of one more fruit. We can do the same thing for Indonesia, but for vegetables. So the table essentially tells us that if Indonesia makes 5 vegetables, well, they're essentially giving up 10 fruit. So the opportunity cost of making 5 vegetables for Indonesia is equal to 10 fruit. We then normalize that number of vegetables to 1, so we divide 5 by 5, and we'll divide 10 by 5 as well to keep that trade-off constant. And we see that for every vegetable that Indonesia makes, they give up 2 units of fruit. All right, let's do the same thing for Greece. Looking at the table, we see that if Greece puts all their resources towards making fruit, they could make 12. If they put those resources towards making vegetables, they can make 4. So for Greece, the opportunity cost of making 12 units of fruit is giving up those 4 vegetables. Let's normalize the number of fruit to be equal to 1 by dividing 12 by 12. We'll divide 4 by 12 as well to keep that ratio of the trade-off constant. So 4 over 12 is a third. So we see that the opportunity cost for Greece of making one more fruit is equal to a third of a vegetable. All right, thinking about the opportunity cost for Greece of making one more vegetable, we see that if they produce 4 vegetables, they give up 12 fruit. Dividing both numbers by 4, we normalize that trade-off to be in terms of 1 vegetable. So if Greece makes 1 vegetable, they give up 3 units of fruit. So these are our opportunity costs. And that's really my favorite way of dealing with these sorts of problems. I really hope that the video helped. Thank you so much for watching my stuff. Please like and subscribe if the video did help. You can also now visit me at www.econhelp.com.au. I have more resources on my site now to help you study, and also ways you can help support this channel. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.